Hello, my Pink Floyd friends and all prog rock music friends. Welcome back to another video. And this video I'd like to dedicate to Pink Floyd and their iconic album, The Dark Side of the Moon. The reason I decided to do it because my press review videos about Beatles albums and recently the Rolling Stones album are quite popular. And I was going through my record collection of Pink Floyd record collection, and I noticed that I have 4 versions of Dark Side of the Moon, and all of them are kind of unique ones. And I don't have the regular, like German or English regular pressing. I have only the unique collectible ones. So I decided to make a press review of Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, comparing 4 unique versions. I'm going to show you the artwork of all 4, the cover, but I'm going to talk about the uniqueness of each album, why is it unique, and then I'm going to compare the sound. Basic information about the album is, this is the 8th studio album by Pink Floyd, released in March 1973, and this is the first album that Roger Waters provided lyrics to, and what's notable, this album is the last album that has the song credited to all 4 members of the band, which is Time. After that, we never saw all 4 members credited as the writers of the song. This album is considered to be one of the 100 greatest albums of all time, and it holds the record of most weeks in the charts. This album is considered to be a masterpiece and a breakthrough album for Pink Floyd. So the first album that I want to talk about is this Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab issue, printed in America with this yellow stripe on top. This is the back of it. That's the gatefold. And the cover is not laminated, it has a matte touch. Here we have the record itself on a white label, and it says here original master recording Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, and this one is made in Japan. Now, how can you identify that you have a first pressing is, if you look at the light, strong light, you're gonna have to see the light through the record. It's a bit transparent, it's not completely black. So if you have this kind of record, then you have unique collectible item. The record is a bit thin, is a bit flimsy, but still, it doesn't affect the sound, which we're gonna be talking about later. Second pressing that I want to talk about is the German Quadrophonie issue. This one was released on 1973 in Germany only, when the quadraphonic systems were beginning to become popular. And aside from the top writing quadraphonic here, there is no difference from the normal German issue. Now it says here, voll kompatibel für stereo, fully compatible with stereo. And it says here, this recording has been produced and associated with SQ standards. Cover is actually also not laminated, but it's kind of glossy. The paper is thinner than the American one, and the artwork is absolutely the same. Now, if you look at the label, black label, on top left side of the label, we have a word that says quadro. Another way to identify that you have actually a quadrophonic is that the catalog number is ended with the letter Q on both label and the cover. This record is a bit thicker and heavier than the Mobile Fidelity one. And aside from Q on the label and quadro, the word, it is the same as the normal German issue. Third pressing that I want to talk about is also German pressing, with a different catalog number, which is 1C064, and the quadraphonic was 062, so they are different. This one is from 1977, and it has here this logo, it's printed on it, and it says here Farbige Pressung, limitierte Sonderauflage, which means colored vinyl limited edition. We have here the same artwork. The cover is also not laminated, but what's interesting here is that we have here white vinyl, and it's almost the same label as the quadraphonic one, with only difference that the catalog number is 1C064 and not 2. It doesn't have the Q at the end of the catalog number, and it doesn't have the word quadro. The design of the label is the same. This is a beautiful white vinyl. This one was released as a collector's item along with the repress on the black vinyl. And since then, it's a highly sought after pressing. And the last but not least, well, arguably maybe the least, is a very surprising find that I bought just months ago. The only non-gatefold cover that I have in my collection, and it has here this classic logo. This is the only pressing of all my 4 pressings that has this actual logo here. I mean, it's the same as the British one, but I don't have the British one in my collection. This one is 1988 issue from Poland. How surprising is that? Bit simpler production. And we have the label here, which has Polskie Nagrania. I apologize for my Polish. It says here only the track listing, made in Poland, some license words, text in Polish that I cannot read, and it has the catalog number. Now, this one is a bit unique because it has a misprint, and the 5th song on side 1, which is The Great Gig in the Sky, it's a misprint. It doesn't have the T in the word the, which means it starts with He Great Gig in the Sky. Even here in Polish pressings, I found a misprint. Also, these albums came with 2 stickers and 2 posters. In this case, the Quadrophonie came with these 2 inserts. These are not stickers. And with these 2 giant posters. This is the one. And this is the poster number 2. So now, I'd like to speak about the sound, why each and every pressing is unique in its own way. The Quadrophonic issue was limited issue in 1973, released only in Germany, and as I mentioned before, it has Q at the end of the catalog number. It uses 4 channels for audio playback, in which speakers are positioned at 4 corners, reproducing signals independent of each other. This is the earliest version of the surround that we know today. The white vinyl, on the top left corner, as I mentioned previously, there is a printed white label, and it says colored vinyl limited issue, and it also was printed only in Germany in parallel with the black vinyl issue. And this is notable for being the first ever colored Pink Floyd vinyl release. Like, there is a song called Any Color You Like, so they chose white. This is the first time the official Pink Floyd album was released on colored vinyl or any other color than black. The Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, also which was released 1979/1982, and my version is from 1982. This audiophile release based on the method which is called half-speed mastering on high-quality JVC super vinyl. It was released in very low quantities, and that's why this album is highly sought after among Pink Floyd collectors. This album uses many examples of sound moving from one speaker to another. This version makes sound separation particularly clear. Mastering process is used by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, creating special lacquer masters from original master tapes, and then this LP was pressed. By this, removing all imperfections, clear sound, and guaranteeing superior sound quality. Now, these 3 albums that I listened to, I was absolutely impressed. I mean, there is no flaws here. The high frequencies, the low frequencies, the bass, everything is great. So Quadrophonic and Mobile Fidelity issues are absolutely musters and absolutely a must-have in everybody's collection. The white vinyl is a bit lower in quality. What I noticed with the white vinyl, that the separation between the left and right is not as good as the other 2. But the differences are so minor that you can simply ignore them. I mean, all 3 versions sound wonderful, and it's difficult for me to position them number 3, number 2, number 1, because all 3 are great. But from my overall impression, I am impressed mostly by the Quadrophonic. Then my impression, I mean, it's my opinion only, on my system, on the second position, I'm going to put the Mobile Fidelity one. And the number 3, I'm going to put the white vinyl. Now, why I deliberately skipped the Polish? Because I have to admit that even though we have a rare Polish issue, the sound and the quality of this pressing is far behind. Okay, it's very dull, it's quiet. When all the instruments come together, you are losing it. So the high frequencies are cut, and you cannot enjoy the depth of this album as you can enjoy it on the 3 others. I'm putting the Polish one on the position number 4 because of all 4 albums, this album is far, far behind. That was my take on The Dark Side of the Moon. Brief, short little video showing you all 4 albums that I have in my collection. I'm not crazy Pink Floyd fan. I don't have like 25 or 30 albums of each, 30 vinyls of each album. I don't need that. 4 is enough. The only album of Pink Floyd that I have more than 5 copies of is Wish You Were Here. So maybe in the near future I will do another press review of Wish You Were Here, because I have half-speed mastering Japanese, I have German, I have Italian, I have Israeli, quadrophonic, and so on. Okay, but this one is for another video. But for this video, I'm done. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.